Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 10th of June 2024. Quick request, if I may make that of you, and that's if you wouldn't mind, please subscribing to the channel, because that'd be a big help and excellent if you would. Today it's McCoy and the Sound of Thunder, and what we've got here is a very nice 3 CD box set of some of John McCoy's music, which has been given the treatment by Cherry Red Records, who do excel at these box set retrospectives, don't they? And John, of course, the larger than life in more ways than one character, who formed and played bass with Gillan, the eponymously named band fronted by a post Deep Purple Ian Gillan all the way back then. And John's had a long career before and after Gillan, indeed. And although it's well over 40 years now, what would it be? Probably around about 1980. I do still have memories of seeing Gillan in concert with John up there on stage, with such a commanding presence that he had. Not only a fine bass player, but an unmistakable character indeed. With his height, that bald head, huge beard, and dark glasses. I mean, that caricature on the cover there is John all over, isn't it? And we all know from our rock music history, don't we, that things didn't end too well with Gillan, did they? They split up after, was it 4 albums? Stories about much animosity going on and whatnot. But I think we'd best leave that left that there, hadn't we? But after the Gillan implosion, John went on to form his own, also eponymously named band, McCoy, and recruited an old Gillan bandmate in Colin Towns, and also the excellent and much missed Paul Samson from another eponymously named band, Samson, who of course were up there in the new wave of British heavy metal days, up there with the best of them, but didn't get the breaks, but gave us some phenomenal albums. But anyway, that Samson connection, going back to John producing and playing some bass on Samson's debut album, and if I remember rightly as well, given that I'm very old now, Colin Towns played bass on, not bass, played keyboards on that, didn't he? Or some of them. I'll have to listen to it again to remind myself. Anyway, back to this box set. What we got? Well, the first disc is the mini album released by McCoy. I think it was 1985, and also the Think Hard album. All excellent hard rock, worthy of wider attention. It really is good stuff, but wasn't particularly commercially successful, unfortunately. And the third disc here is probably the most interesting one. It's a live performance from 1977 of a little project that John had with Paul Samson and also a drummer called Roger Hunt. And it really is like just raw power. You've got to remember, this is from 1977, and recording technology then wasn't what it is now. It's very rough and ready, but it's very interesting. Not only for some of the songs in the set would find their way onto Samson's debut album a few years later. So it's very interesting. Do check out the other stuff that John did back in the day as well, because after McCoy there came Mammoth with vocalist Nicky Moore, and Mammoth, of course, being a somewhat tongue-in-cheek name, given the what can we call it, weight of the band members, because John and Nicky weren't exactly lightweight boxers, were they? But Mammoth didn't last too long either, and after that John went on to producing work with any number of bands and artists. Really long and varied career, and this 3D box set's a fine retrospective for a period of activity from a very talented musician there's much more to John McCoy than being the big bloke who played bass in Gillan. So do check this out. Good stuff. McCoy, Sound of Thunder, 3 CD box set. I'll drop a link, as always, in the description to it on Amazon, so you can go and pick it up from there. That's where I got mine from. So that's that for today. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that would be marvellous. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.